And then the other is on the trade piece, and I visited with Larry Kudlow earlier this week, and so the markets facilitation payment helped, and you were a champion there. And again, I thank you for that. But depending on how long the trade negotiations go on, we really need to have some help for our producers in the interim. So in those negotiations, to the extent you can continue, and I know you're doing it, and I'm doing it, others are trying to do it, convince the administration that we have to have purchases while that goes on. We've got, commodities stacking up all over the place. And so it's not just from a pricing standpoint, but just physically selling product. We've got to try to get some purchases while that negotiation is getting on. Obviously, the sooner we can get a resolution, the better. So just some thoughts in terms of trying to get some product moving for our producers while those trade negotiations are ongoing.
Well, certainly, obviously, your part of the world was most hard hit because it flows to the PNW, and that market was essentially cut off. In fact, even down the Gulf was the liquidity issues, as Senator Bozeman knows, was with no trade moving, it's a very difficult thing. The elevators get stopped up very quickly because it's used to flow, and if you don't have an outlet for it, it's like the Dead Sea, and that's sort of what happened this year. Hopefully, the Chinese, with their commitment last Friday, almost a week ago, with 10 million more metric tons of soybeans, hopefully we can see more of that. That implies that we have to have an agreement, and while we're cautiously optimistic, I think if we get an agreement in principle, we can see purchases on various commodities move fairly quickly and recover markets. But that's still, I don't want to raise expectations. That's going to be done near term. Hopefully, the President and President Xi of China can meet in March, and I'd love to see a resolution there. But right now, it's difficult to predict.
Right. I mean, obviously that's I think the number one thing that would help right now is getting an agreement. In the meantime, anything you can do on, keeping those purchases going. And then the other thing is as far as getting approval of USMCA, addressing the steel and aluminum tariffs, because both Canada and Mexico, as you know, are holding product on the basis of that.